have your focus on your breath today, as well as what you're doing with your body. And as always, work within your own range and stretch and give yourself a good workout, but please don't go to the point of pain. And if you need to rest, it's a busy day, it's been quite warm, so please rest. So grab a cushion and a small blanket and we'll get started. So we're going to start sitting cross-legged. Okay, so just cross your legs however you're comfortable. I use a cushion to just get my body up the ground a bit and let my my gummy knees relax. So sitting cross-legged, just getting comfortable in your space. Have a look around and just start to become aware. You've probably been very busy, rushing to get to this point. Just become aware of what's going on around you. The noises, the movement, the other people in your space or around you. And start to focus on your breath. Just notice it going in and out. You might sense the breath through your nostrils, creating a bit of coolness. And as you're sitting on the ground, notice your sit bones connecting with the earth. Relax your shoulders down your back. Relax your elbows. Tuck your chin in a little bit and stretch your crown up to the sky as though there were a golden thread, stretching your spine up, creating space between your vertebrae. So you're grounding down and stretching up at the same time. Start to deepen your breath. On your inhale, expand your stomach, your chest, and across your shoulders. Take a deep inhale. And then when you exhale, relax and let it all flow out. All that air flow out. Another deep inhale. And relax as it flows out. And on your next deep inhale, expanding out your abdomen, your chest, across your shoulders. Fill up, and then just fill up a little bit more. And then sigh it out. Oh, letting go of everything that's happened today, this week, perhaps even this month. Just let it go. And return to your breath. If you close your eyes, just gently open them, and we'll introduce some gentle movements, placing your hands on the floor at your sides. Inhale as you stretch your arms out and up above your head, as though you were holding a giant beach ball. And then put your hands together and bring them down to heart center as you exhale. Again, inhale, stretching up, grounding through your sit bones and stretching up through your crown of your head. And then exhale, hands down to heart center. Do that a couple more times, inhaling, stretching up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch up. And feel the stretch in your side body as you exhale down. Inhale, stretching your arms up. And this time, place your left hand on the floor beside you and lean over to the left, stretching your right arm over. Keep your left sit bone, your right sit bone on the ground. Feel the stretch through your right side body for a few breaths. You might like to look past your armpit and out to the right for a further stretch. On your next inhale, arms both back up to the sky, holding that beach ball. And on the exhale, the right hand drops down. Left arm stretches over, anchoring your left sit bone to the ground, stretching through your left side body. Looking to the left, if that serves you, and feeling that stretch all the way along to your fingertips. Inhale up, hands up to the top, holding that beach ball, and then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, this time twist towards the left, right hand on the left knee, and the left hand behind you. So you're looking over your left shoulder, just a very gentle twist. And as you sit here, ground through your sit bones and stretch your crown up to the sky. Nice stretched back. Inhale, stretching your arms back up to the sky. And exhale to the other side, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, stretching back up, and hands to heart center. Beautiful. Putting our hands behind us now, just behind your hips. Move the cushion out the way if you've got one. And bring your elbows together at the back. So you're actually stretching across your shoulders, your collarbones, and you're just stretching into your top of your back of your body. And you can lean back on your hands a little bit and look up at the ceiling. Don't flick your head all the way back. Just look up to the ceiling, stretching through your chin up to the ceiling, but not locking your neck all the way back. Inhale here, and then exhale and stretch forward, stretching your hands in front of you. Flat hands on the ground, head down, stretching through your hips. You might feel it in your knees as well. And then inhale, walk your hands back to the start. Beautiful, well done. Now we're going to cross our legs and we'll do that again. So we'll start by inhaling, stretching straight up, holding that beach ball, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretching up again, and exhale, hands to heart center. Just going a little bit fast this time to warm up the shoulders and the arms. Inhale and stretch out and up, and exhale, turning to the right this time. And I'm going to do the twist first, sorry. And left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you. Looking over your right shoulder. And inhale, stretching back up and over to the left side, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, stretching back up to center. And this time putting your right hand on the floor and leaning on that hand and stretching over to the right with your left hand over your by your ear. Grounding through your left sit bone, stretching. Beautiful. Inhale, stretching up. Inhale, and then down to the other side, left hand down, right hand over your head, stretching your right side body, grounding through your right sit bones. Beautiful stretch. Inhale, stretching back up, and hands to heart center. And again, we'll do those back and forward stretches. So putting your hands behind you, tucking your elbows together behind you, squeezing your shoulder blades together. So stretching through our upper back, across our collarbone, and looking up to the ceiling, stretching through your neck. Great stretch for people who've been on computers all day. Then inhale, and on the exhale, walk your hands forward. You might notice that it feels a bit different on this side. Your knees feel different, your hips. And then walking up to sitting again. Beautiful. We're going to get into child's pose now. So get it onto your mat. Dispose of your cushion and be on your knees. So have your knees hip width apart or even as wide as your mat and your big toes touching. So you're sort of like making part of a triangle with your shins. And then we lean forward, stretching our arms forward, chest and forehead to the mat. You might choose to have a cushion in front of you to create some space if that's more comfortable. And stretch forward. Just notice your breathing here. Take some deep breaths through your nose, filling up your back body, filling up your lungs and experiencing the expansion in the back of your body. And then sighing it out. And then walking your hands across to the right, keeping your body where it is, keeping your hips where they are, and your body moves towards the right. Your left hand goes over your right hand. And you again feel that stretch in your side body. So keep your left hip close to your left heel. Beautiful. And come back to center. Take a breath. And then move your hands towards the left-hand side and your torso moves slightly as well. And your right hand goes over your left hand, stretching your right side body. Anchor your right hip back towards your right heel. You won't touch necessarily, but you get it down there. Great, and walk your hands back to center and up to tabletop position. So tabletop position with your toes pointing straight back, your hips under your knees under your hips, and your hands under your shoulders. So span your hands out wide, and to take the pressure off your wrists, press hard into your fingertips. You might even find that your fingers raise up slightly like little cupcakes. So tabletop. We'll do some cat-cows. So we'll do cow first. So breathe in, your belly goes towards the mat, hips towards the sky, and open through the heart center. Crown up to the sky. Exhale, cat, tuck your navel to spine. Push back through your hands, rounding your back. Inhale into cat, belly goes down, hips go up, crown up towards the ceiling, broad through collarbones. And exhale, pushing away with your hands, rounding through the back, tucking your tailbone in. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Take a few more in your own time. You might like to go to one side or the other, just to iron out any kinks that develop through the day. Stay aware of your breath. So Inhale as you go into cow, expanding your chest. And exhale as you tuck your tail and go into cat. When you're ready, come back to tabletop, neutral spine. We're going to do some knee to elbows. So stretch your right hand out, your right arm out parallel with the floor, your palm facing towards the left. And if you'd like, you can also stretch out your left leg out towards the back. So opposite leg, opposite arm. And if you're comfortable, you can raise your leg up. You can leave your leg there or raise your leg up. So it's also parallel with the ground, which is a great stretch, and it really activates your core. Inhale and stretch out. And on the exhale, curl in and bring your knee to your elbow. Inhale, stretch out. And exhale, knee to elbow. We'll do two more. Inhale, stretching out. And exhale, knee to elbow. And last one, inhale, stretching out. And exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch out. And put your palm back down on the mat and your knee back down on the mat. Go to the opposite side. So our left arm is stretched out, hand facing to the palm facing to the right. Our right leg is stretched back, either toes tucked in, or if you like, you could stretch your leg up parallel with the ground. And if you're doing that, flex your toes in, so you're stretching that hamstring. Inhale and stretch out. Exhale, elbow to knee, crunch it in. Exhale, inhale and stretch. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale and stretch. Exhale, elbow to knee. One last time. Inhale, stretch. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch out. Place your palm on the ground and your knee on the ground. Back into tabletop. Beautiful. And just do a couple of cat-cows just to reposition your spine. Inhale on the cow and exhale on the cat. Fantastic. Now, in your neutral tabletop position, just tuck your toes under. Inhale, and on the exhale, push your hips up to the sky and into downward dog. First downward dog of the day. So your feet are on the ground. Your heels will probably be up a little bit. And you can track your heels towards the ground, but don't stretch too much in your hamstrings if it's uncomfortable. You can bend your knees a little bit. That's fine. But make sure that you can't see your heels. So just pivot your feet till you can't see the back of your heels. Hips up to the sky, chest tracking towards the mat, forehead tracking towards the mat. Elbows, the eyes of the elbows are shining forward, so sort of twist your arms to open up your chest. And remember to press through your fingertips. Wonderful. Stretching down here. And on your next inhale, raise your right leg up to the sky, flexing your toes in, and just stretch that left leg down. Three-legged dog. And then return your right foot to the ground. And just notice how that feels. Inhale, raise your left leg up into the sky. See if you can get your right heel down a little bit more. And exhale, left foot comes down, back to downward dog. This time in downward dog, we're going to bend our knees so that our chest comes closer to the ground. bending your knees, and then gently straighten up your legs as much as is comfortable, and see if you can keep your chest where it is. So you deepen your downward dog. Beautiful. Fantastic. Inhale, and then exhale, walk your feet towards your flat hands, bend your knees, and lean your torso over your thighs. Grab your elbows to the opposite hands, and you can sway from side to side like a rag doll. Just keep your legs bent a little bit. You don't have to straighten them all the way. Still warming up our legs. And then let your hands go floppy, let your head go floppy, let your shoulders go floppy. And vertebrae by vertebrae, roll up to standing really slowly, just allowing your body to unfurl. When you get to standing, just roll your shoulders back a few times. Wonderful. Making sure. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. What are we doing now? Let's have a look. Okay, so we're just going to warm up our legs a little bit now. So inhale, hands above the head. Clasp your hands and then turn your clasp inside out. So your palms, your palms are facing the ceiling. And then just inhale and then exhale as you bend slowly to the right. Inhale straight up, stretching up to the sky, and exhale over to the left. Beautiful. Inhale up to the center. And this time, just rotate to the right slightly, keeping your hips forward. Just go as far as is comfortable. Inhale back to center. And then exhale around to the left. Just a slight twist, lower down in your body than we were doing before. Inhale, and then exhale, hands back down. Fantastic. Right, hands up again. Inhale, hands out and up. And exhale, turn to the right and lower your hands so they're in a T. So you're looking to the right and you're in a T. Inhale and back to center. And exhale, cactus your arms. Bring your upper arms parallel with the ground and your lower arms at 90 degrees. Inhale, stretching up. And exhale, looking to the left in a T, stretching those arms. Imagine you've got people stretching your arms either way. Inhale, stretching up. And exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, stretching up. And hands to heart center, relaxing down. Okay, now standing at the top of your mat, going to do a chair pose. So inhale and stretch your arms up as though you're holding your beach ball. Beautiful. And then on the exhale, bend your knees and your hips as though you were sitting on a chair. So you're bending back and have your weight on your heels, not your toes. So you're actually trying to push your bottom back and put the weight into your heels. So you should be able to feather your toes, actually have them off the ground. Inhale, stretching your arms up, and then exhale, folding forward. Again, bending your legs. Plant your hands on the ground and stepping back into dog pose. Beautiful. Just taking a moment to get your alignment in dog pose. Remember, you can bend your knees a little bit if that's comfortable. Pressing through your fingertips and having your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, stretch your right leg up. And exhale, bring it towards your chest, your knee towards your chest, and then bring your hand through between your hands. Sorry, bringing your foot through between your hands. Brilliant. So in a low lunge, put your left knee down on the ground. So in this lunge, you can have your toe tucked or flat. And if it's uncomfortable for you, or you need to put something under your knee, that's a good idea if it's uncomfortable. And you can make, rather than having your legs sort of almost lined up, you can have a wider stance if you need that for balance. Okay, so inhaling, we're going to stretch our arms up again above our head, so our torso and our arms are all in a straight line. It's quite a balance. This, you might need to get a focus point you can look at to keep your balance. And you can scissor your legs, scissor your thighs so that they feel like they're tracking together, even though they're not moving. Just take a few deep breaths here. Notice the air coming in and out of your nostrils. You might notice how does the top of your left foot feel? How do your fingertips feel? Inhale, stretch up, and then exhale, rain your hands down to frame your foot. And lean back a little bit so that you can push your right foot forward on your heel. So you're now on your right heel and your right leg is straight or almost straight. So you can have it bent a little bit and flex your toes back towards your shin. So this is a great stretch for your hamstrings, but it's also good for your hips. So you can track your right hip back and your left hip forward. And just stretch your torso up and forward. Doesn't need to go down towards your foot. If you're having trouble doing that, just bring your hands back a little bit so that you've got more height. You could actually put a blanket or something under your hands if you needed to as well. Just notice where your mind's going. Bring it back to your breath. On your next inhale, put your foot flat on the floor, your right foot flat on the floor. Frame it with your hands. Tuck your left foot under and stretch your left foot up, the left leg up, and come back into dog. Right leg back to dog. Beautiful. From dog, left leg goes up in the air, three-legged dog. Bring your knee in towards your chest and then bring your left foot through in between your hands. So we'll go the left side. Your right knee comes down on the floor. Fantastic. Well done. That's great. And then inhale, your hands go up. So your front leg should be in a square, ideally 90 degrees. Tuck your navel into your spine. Activate through your core. Left hip is tracking back and right ribs forward, so your pelvis is parallel with the front of your mat. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Shoulders away from the ears. Looking at a focal point in front of you. And just watching your breath coming and going. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, rain your hands back down to frame your foot. Tuck your right toes under. Raise your right knee and come back to downward dog. Take a moment to pause in your downward dog. and walk your hands towards your feet. So down in another lovely ragdoll stretch, hands clasping opposite elbows. Oh, your knees are bent. Rock from side to side. And then let your hands go, your shoulders and your head go. And again, vertebrae by vertebrae, just roll up your back until you're rolling your shoulders out. Fantastic. That's great. Cool. Okay, all good? Okay, let's do some salutes to the sun. Let's get this straightened. So I'm going to do salutes to the sun. It's a normal flow that we do in yoga, but I do want to make sure that people who need a bit of extra support get that. So I'm going to show you how to do supported plank. So a normal plank, so just relax for a minute. A normal plank would be hands under your shoulders and you're supporting yourself like that. And that's an option. But often it's quite a lot of strain on the shoulders. So having the knees down is a good option. And you just make sure that you've still got your shoulders over your hands. And you can, again, rotate your elbow eyes forward. And then in the salute to the sun, the next thing is Chaturanga or press up. So you tuck your elbows in towards your chest and towards your ribs and go down slowly like that. And then you can relax. And then you tuck your hands under your shoulders, tuck your elbows into your ribs, and just raise up for Cobra. Now, that might be uncomfortable for some people, so just do a small Cobra like that, and that's quite good to warm up your back anyway. So you're almost stretching the crown forward, and you're pressing into the tops of your feet, and your knees are off the mat. Okay. Let's do it all the way through. So we've got those two options, supported plank or full plank. So just do what's comfortable for you. Okay, suits the sun. Starting at the front top of your mat in mountain pose. So feet up to hip width apart, pointing straight forward, grounding through the four corners of your feet. Tailbone tracks down. Shoulders descend down your back, away from your ears. And your hands are facing forward. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, overhead, and then rain them down, forward fold. You can fold, you can bend your knees and hands close to the mat. You might have your hands behind your shins. You can have your knees bent. Inhale, halfway lift, so flat back. So you're stretching from your tail to the crown of your head, flat back, straight line, hopefully parallel with the ground. Inhale and then exhale, forward fold, right foot back and left foot back into downward dog. Take a moment to line up your downward dog. And then into plank. So we're going to put our knees down if we choose. And then into plank. So our shoulders are over our wrists. Just take a moment here. For those who want it, you can have full plank. So really active through the torso, tucking your navel into your spine. Taking a deep breath. And then on the exhale, Chaturanga. So going down through your rib, through to the floor. So pressing through the tops of your feet, knees off the floor. Inhale, pressing through your hands into baby cobra, elbows into the ribs, crown stretching forward or up to the sky. And exhale, relax down. Inhale, and then exhale, push up into plank or supported plank, followed by dog pose. Take a few breaths in dog pose. And then walking forward with your feet up to your flat hands and into forward fold, bending your knees as much as you feel comfortable, or straightening them as much as you feel comfortable. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Just think about squeezing your shoulder blades together when you're doing that. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms out to the side, take up space over your head and hands to heart center. Beautiful. You're all nice and warm now. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, stretching up, out and up. Exhale, folding forward, bending our knees if we want to. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Left foot back, followed by right foot back into dog pose. Taking a couple of moments to settle into dog pose. Pressing through our fingertips. Knees bent slightly if that's comfortable. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and knees down if you're doing supported plank and plank. Nice and strong in your plank through your arms, your shoulders, tucking your navel into your spine, activating your core. Inhale and then exhale, lowering yourself down to the mat, elbows into your ribs. Have your hands under your shoulders, elbows still tucked in. Press through your tops of your feet. Inhale into baby cobra. And exhale down. Inhale, and then exhale, push up to plank, and then straight into dog. And walk your flat hands back towards your feet. Into forward fold this time. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale all the way up, stretching out and up, and hands to heart center. And back to mountain pose. Right. Go back to the top of your mat. So this time we'll do some Salutation B, and it's got a standing pose in it called Warrior One. So I'm going to go through Warrior One with you, and I'll do some modifications so that you can do what you think is going to work for you. Okay, so we do the salutations, and in the middle we end up with our feet like this. So basically they're in line. The front foot is always pointing forward, and the back foot's always at 45 degrees. And this front leg is in a square, so we're basically trying to get the thigh parallel to the ground. So that's what we're looking for. And our hips are actually facing the front. So you might think they're facing the side, but they're not, they're facing front. So we have to kind of track the hip for the front foot backwards. And then when we're ready, we actually inhale and raise our hands above our head, again, as though we're holding that beach ball. And that is Warrior One. We're then going to move from there to leaning forward, so taking the weight on our front foot, hands, about a hand span in front of our foot to a balance, L-shaped balance, like that. And then we're going to move back, wander back, and then back to Warrior One. Okay, so let's have a go at that in the middle of our salutes. Standing at the top of our mats. Beautiful. Okay, in mountain pose. Grounded down, Just notice how your body's feeling. What feels stretched, what feels warm, how your breathing is. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, above your head, and down for forward fold. Forward fold, and then halfway lift, torso parallel with the floor, and then exhale, forward fold, hands flat on the floor and back to dog, downward dog. And then supported plank or plank, whichever you choose. Tuck your elbows in, down to Chaturanga, and then down to the floor. Pressing on the tops of your feet, tucking your elbows in, inhaling, back into Cobra. Exhaling down. Inhale, then exhale, push back into supported plank, tuck your toes into downward dog. Inhale, raise your right leg up. Bend your right knee in towards your chest and then step it forward in between your hands or close to your hands. Your right foot is pointing forward. You can frame your foot with your hands. Your left foot is at 45 degrees. And then you're pushing up through your right foot so that your torso becomes vertical. And have a look at that front leg. Make sure that your knee is tracking over your heel around your second and third toes. We don't want it splaying in or out. Your back foot's at 45 degrees. Then we'll get our hands up. So inhale and raise your hands above your head. Beautiful. So ground through the outer edges of both feet. Track your right hip back and your left ribs forward so that you can have your pelvis parallel with the front of the mat. And to protect your back, tuck your navel in towards your spine or knit your ribs together. And just look forward and take a few breaths in this powerful pose, Warrior One. Notice where the heat's coming from. Beautiful. Inhale now. We're going to put our hands down, raining our hands down, putting more weight on our front foot. Our hands are forward of our foot on either side, about a hand span forward. Putting our weight into the right leg and the right foot, raising the left foot so it's in an L shape, an inverted L shape. Just stretching the left heel back, flexing the toes in, and just allowing your body to relax down. And all of the muscles in your right ankle, your right shin, are working really hard to keep you supported. Your toes, they're all active, strengthening all of those muscles. And then inhale, float your left foot back down 45 degrees. And then inhale and back up to Warrior One. Well done. And then rain your hands back down and into dog pose. From dog pose, we'll go into supported plank. Tuck your elbows in, down to the floor, and up into Cobra. And back down. And pushing up into supported plank and back to dog pose. And take a breath in dog pose. Looking towards your hands, walk your feet towards your hands, into forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold again, and then stretching your arms out and up, and hands to heart center and back to mountain pose. Fantastic. We'll do the other side. Inhale, stretching up and stretching up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Left foot back, right foot back into downward dog. Knees down for supported plank or not. Into plank. Tucking your elbows into your ribs and down to the ground. Stretching your legs back. Pressing through tops of your feet. And inhale into cobra. Just go as far as is comfortable. And exhale down. Inhale back to supported plank and through to dog. Left leg raises. Tuck your left leg into your chest and then forward for your next warrior one. So your left foot is pointing forward and your back foot is at 45 degrees. Push through your left foot as you raise your torso up to the vertical. Inhale as your arms also come up. Warrior one. Your front leg is in a square, tracking between your second and third toes. Beautiful. Left hip tracks back, right ribs track forward. Remember to engage your navel towards your spine to protect your back. Just notice your breathing as we go through these dynamic poses. Inhale, rain your hands down to the mat, framing your foot, and just walk them forward, hand span forward, and then put your weight into your left foot and push through that left foot, raising your right leg to an L. So your right leg is parallel with the floor, right toes pointing towards your right shin. Just allow your left foot to support you. Inhale, float your right foot back and up into warrior one. Front leg is in a square, hands above your head. Beautiful. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands frame your foot. Back to downward dog. And last Chaturanga sequence, so supported plank. Tuck your elbows in, down onto the floor. You go. Press into the tops of your feet and push up into cobra. Might like to go a little bit higher this time. And exhale down. Inhale, and on the exhale, push up into plank, and then tuck your toes into downward dog. Just take a few moments to catch your breath. And we'll walk our hands back towards our feet this time, towards our flat feet. Forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. And inhale, stretching all the way up. Hands above the head and then palms together at heart center. Well done. That's a strenuous bit of the class over. Well done. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do some butterflies. So Baddha, so getting on your cushion, if you have one, or a blanket, sitting down. Good to be on the ground, hey? And just grab hold of your feet. So put your soles together. Now you might have your soles together a long way apart, a long way from your body or close to your body. Just work out what feels comfortable for you. And you might be able to put your hands around your feet and then just gently flap your wings, butterfly pose, seated butterfly pose. So you can actually start to work your hips and your knees a bit further down to the ground. And if you're a very good yogi, you can actually slap the ground while you're doing this. Freaking dream. Okay, very good. And then on your next inhale, just stretch forward a little bit. You might be able to get your elbows in front of your shins and just lean forward, stretching through the back of your hips. Gently through your lower back, it might stretch out the lower back. If it's uncomfortable, you can move your feet further away from you. That might be more comfortable. That might ease it if it's uncomfortable. Beautiful. And then inhale, sitting up. Dispose of your pillow. And come down to lying on your mat. So legs straight out. Lying back down. And just take a few moments to feel the ground under you. The ground supporting you. Inhale, and on the exhale, bend your right knee into your chest and hug it tight around your shins. Just rotate your ankle one way or your foot one way and then the other. Just give it a little bit of a stretch. It's been doing some good work for us. And then you might be able to move your knee towards your right armpit, just for a different stretch. Remembering to stretch down through your left leg at the same time. Now place your left hand on the outside of your right thigh and roll your right leg over to the left in a supine twist. Keep your right shoulder on the ground. You might like to stretch your right arm out in a semi-T, a half T. So you've got your right foot on the ground, probably. You're feeling a stretch through your right hip, right thigh. Looking at the ceiling. You may like to look to the right for a further stretch. Breathe through your side body. Fill up your right lung. Just focus on your right lung. Filling it up all the way along and then relaxing it down as the air expels. Notice your body cooling down, or starting to cool down. Bring your navel to your spine. Inhale as you bring your leg back to center and stretch your right leg down straight. Bring your left leg in towards your chest and hug your shin, massaging your abdominal organs. And rotate your left foot one way and then the other, just giving that ankle a little bit of love. Now move your left knee towards your left armpit. If you can, stretching your right leg down. Nice thigh stretch there. And then put your right hand on the outside of your left thigh and roll over to the right. So your left thigh and your left knee is towards the right side of your body. Looking at the ceiling. Pin your left shoulder to the mat. Don't let that roll off the mat in this supine twist. And breathe through your side body. Fill up your left lung, the front of your left lung, the back of your left lung. Just notice the air coming through your nostrils. And then with your navel to spine, inhale and roll back to center and straighten both your legs for relaxation. Stretch your legs down. Have your feet falling out to the side. Allow your arms to be by your body, palms facing up. Place your attention in your feet and ankles. Relax your feet and ankles. Think of your shins and your knees. Relax your shins and knees. Relax your thighs and hips. Put your attention into your fingers, your hands. Relax your fingers and hands. Relax your forearms and elbows. Relax your upper arms and shoulders. Relax your collarbones. Feel your pelvis heavy on the mat. Relax down your abdomen. Feel your chest, your lungs, your heart space relax. Relax through your throat, your neck. You might wiggle your scalp with your eyebrows. Relax your scalp. Draw your lips back from your teeth and then relax them in a gentle smile. Allow your jaw and tongue to relax. Soften your eyes, the skin around your face. As you find stillness, thoughts will come into your head. Just let them go like clouds in the sky, drifting past. Focus on your breathing. The air coming in and out of your nostrils. Feel the ground supporting you. Notice the stillness, the ever-present stillness that's just waiting for you. It's there all the time for you to access. That deep stillness. invite a little bit of movement into your body. Graze your fingertips with your thumbs. Wiggle your toes. You might want to stretch your body long or curl up tight. Take a deep breath and sigh it out. Oh. And when you're ready, tuck your knees into your chest and roll over to one side. Take a few breaths there. Before you come back to sitting as we started, cross-legged on the floor. We'll finish as we began with a few breaths. Just inhale and expand through your belly, through your chest, across your shoulders. And exhale, noticing it all flowing out. Inhale and expand. Filling right up. And then exhale, relaxing your shoulders, your chest, your abdomen down. Inhale, filling up fresh, clean energy. And exhale through your mouth, letting out anything that no longer serves you. Oh. Inhale, place your hands at heart center. Bow your thinking mind to your loving heart in gratitude for the awareness and stillness that we have within us. In gratitude for practice today and for all the forces that brought us to practice, the people, the circumstance, and nature itself. Be well, yogis, and namaste.